Hi everyone, this is AutoML training community meeting on 11th of August. I will start sharing my screen. Okay, sounds good. So as always, if you want to add something to the agenda, please feel free to update our doc here. In the meantime, if you just want to take a look at our past recordings, please check this playlist. We try to upload all of the recent recordings to this YouTube channel. In the meantime, I'm happy to announce that finally we released the videos from our working group training and AutoML summit. So first of all, we really want to ask our community to provide the feedback by using this link. So we have like just 6 to 5 questions to ask the community. And even if you do not like attend the summit, please view these recordings by using this link. And after that, if you want to just give our feedback about the videos, what they're interested for you, which like aspects you want to hear more from our side, and what kind of the use cases you have, please feel free to use this link to give the feedback. Yeah. Also, I don't know, Josh or Jonah, do you want to add something regarding to the summit? Or we can move forward.
Yeah, I think we talked in the community meeting. I think let's move forward.
Yep, sure. I think it was a good experience. So in the meantime, later on, we can think about how we can introduce the summit to the community better, maybe using the website or any other like social media platforms. Also there's just a few items regarding to the KDIP. So I think we have already decided which image we're going to use for UI. So yeah, I think this PR has already been merged. So just to keep people aware, like we will introduce the new UI in the Kubeflow 1.4. Even this UI is not like fully ready, and some of the features might be missing in this UI, but our users still will see it in the default installation. So overall, I think we finalized with the image right here, and we decided if users just wanted to deploy like the previous UI, they can use the tag. So I think we have this information right here, right? Okay. Yeah, so in any case, we will just continue our work in the 1.4 during like the new features implementation. And I'm not sure that we can fix all of them by this week. Yes, and like the latest item, since we have like some time to discuss about like the README. So first of all, yeah, before like jumping to this README, speaking about like, the release process, are we actually ready to make the release? What kind of the missing features haven't implemented yet?
Yeah, so I will look at the number 1 issue which is a long pending one. So I will take a look at that. I have a pending item there. Okay. And other than that, I think we are good to go there.
So do you think we can implement it by this Friday? Today is Wednesday, right? Okay. Yeah, well, because
probably like by weekend. Yes, I'll try to do get that at least like the initial version by this weekend.
Yeah, because I was thinking that probably we should cut the new release this Saturday or Sunday, like the release cut 0. And we will use this release cut as the first candidate for the Kubeflow 1.4. So yeah, go ahead.
One small comment here. It's okay if I think what Jochen will work on the weekend was for the first point about the max parallel trial count smaller than the max trial, right?
Yeah.
It's okay if since this is a fix, it's okay if you actually cut the first RC without this fix, and we get this in the following 2 weeks of the feature freeze. The feature freeze is meant to stabilize as much as possible, not include new features so we can work on docs. But I mean, if you don't make it through the weekend, it's okay to include this later on during the release process. So
yeah. The only catch is I think this is a bit more. Yeah, it's a bit involved change, so we have to be really careful if like it shouldn't affect any other pieces of the software. So I think that's the only worrying part. So I'll take a look at that. Yes.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem here, as Jonah mentioned, we really need to test this this fix after we implement this kind of the functionality. So it's better for us if we cut the release candidate 0 with this kind of the changes. In that case, we probably we probably can find like more issues in the before 1.4. So yeah, it is crucial to make it on this week. But okay, so other than that, so speaking about like the UI perspective, so Kamaras, do you think we don't want to update the documentation right now? Like the guides?
I'll assign this issue to me. I'll actually work on it on the next 2 weeks and update all of the elements in the docs. I have it in my list. I'll pick it up. I'll assign myself.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so only remaining thing is just this grid suggestion fix. That's it. And we will cut the release on this week. Yeah. So yes, speaking about like so one thing before actually we making the release, do we want to include this new feature in this release? So I think recently we had the contributions from the Optuna guys, and they want to integrate a new suggestion service. I'm not sure if we have enough time to actually test it before 1.4 on this week.
That's a good question, but since we are early, we will try to get it in. I didn't review it yet. I think because we have for the final release, I think we have close to a month, right? For if there are some issues pending, so we can. I think there is enough time. So
yeah. I think the biggest problem here that this is the new feature, right? And once we cut the release candidate 0, we cannot just cherry pick the new features.
So we'll try if we can get it this week. Else, I think we can take it in the next one.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we'll see how the review goes. Yeah, but this is completely like new feature from the KDE perspective. Yeah. And also like speaking about like the README refactoring. So here the problem is like, as we mentioned before in our meetings, that currently in README we have a lot of legacy information from the KDE perspective, and some of this information are duplicated in the Kubeflow official guides. So the question is here: do we need more time to discuss it before actually changing the README? Because the problem is we do not show the users all of the supported algorithms and frameworks and the techniques in the README. So I don't know, do we want to make these changes on this week, or we can postpone it as well?
Yeah, this is not blocking the release, right? So I think we can, we can take it probably like in after the main fixes are in probably like next week or the next.
Okay. Yeah, because here the question is how to actually show the users all of the supported frameworks and algorithms. And since recently we implemented new suggestion, we currently support a lot of like frameworks, and I think it's not feasible for the user. I don't know, like what others think like about the showing the algorithms and frameworks to the user. Is it like some useful information from the user perspective? Maybe Josh, do you have any comments on that?
I don't know that I can speak on usability as well as maybe others. So I don't know that I can help a lot there.
So yeah, so here the key point is some part of docs are in Kubeflow website, while half of it is in the KTib repo. So I think that is the main thing here. I think we have more descriptive definitions in Kubeflow website for now, while the KTib README is kind of like concise.
Yeah, and I think that more importantly to just show the user on the front page site like what is the KDIP and why they need to use KDIP, right? So I think this kind of information can be hidden because this is not the most important one. This can be read from docs, but like the supporting algorithms and supporting, I don't know, like CRDs might be the most important one. But I don't know, we can maybe leave this discussion afterwards, not right now. Because like if you have any feedback, please just fill this issue because we want to hear like what users want to see there. And the question is currently a lot of algorithms, a lot of frameworks, like for example, HyperOpt and like I think Optune are supporting the same algorithms, and how to show this to the user that they can just use different frameworks for the different algorithms, for the same algorithms, sorry. Yeah, so I don't know.
We'll do it next week, yes.
Okay, yes. And I think the last thing about like the PR about the labels, since we have like some time. So do you think, because here's the issue, like how we should name our labels? Should we keep like AutoML, or should we keep KDIP? Because this should be merged before this Friday, this PR. Do you have any thoughts on the naming, speaking about like the labels for KDIP components?
I feel the repo name might be better because the AutoML term is new here, right? Like at least from the repo perspective.
Yeah, I think from the like cluster administrator, it might be new because we do not support. Yeah, because currently we have only one project in Kubeflow regarding to AutoML. Yeah, and probably yeah, it's maybe make it more feasible for the user to just see the KDIP under KDIP components. But okay, yeah, let me put it here. Do we have anything else to discuss speaking about like the release, or any other like questions regarding to AutoML? Okay, sounds good. So let's just continue to the training. So I think first of all, maybe we can discuss about the release because this is a more important one. What do you think? Maybe Justin, you can give an update what's happening with the common training operator.
Sure.
Justin, so one suggestion before we start. So like Deepak is new here, so if you can just
Okay.
give an overall picture, I think that would be great.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, so the reason we do this project is because the training repos is growing, and maintenance is kind of a burden, and we also see some like API inconsistent issues, and a lot of things cannot be reused. So Deepak, I will send you documentation talk more about the like the motivation of this project. So currently we try to consolidate all the training operators in one repo, and potentially rename the like the repo to a more generic repo like Kubeflow training operators. So this repo currently hosts the code, the unified training operator code, and it will support 5 frameworks at this moment. So the current progress is we cut the most of the test I think into 3 phases now. The phase 1 and phase 2 are down. So the phase 1 we extract the like the PyTorch, MXNet, XGBoost APIs back to TF operator, and also the come with the controller code. In phase 2, we did some refactor and make them work. And first thing, we make the original, like the old TF controller works, and it passed the test. And later we rebase the changes back to master and make sure the current operator passed the existing conformance test. So all the like E2E test, TensorFlow E2E test. So the quality-wise, I think it's good to cut like alpha release. So the things that are not done yet is the some tasks in phase 3. So phase 3 has some tasks like improving the log structures and some like observability of the drop metrics, etc. So I can give the link later. It's in the project too. So those tasks should be addressed before we cut the beta release. I think yeah. So that's the current status. Yeah. Let's see. So there's a few to-do items. And the ongoing one is the phase 3. That's the umbrella issue of the like the issues.
This one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So those things need to be addressed, and then I think we should be good to go to cut a beta release and put it in 1.4 release. So that's the overall plan, and yeah, I like to have some discussion, and if we want to make some adjustment or anything, we should address that before the release.
So Jishin, so regarding 1.4, what are the items that we are currently planning to have? The ones which are in the first. Can you take the other ones in the project, the second tab? Like what? Yes. So so are we targeting all of this in 1.4?
Yeah, I think so. So those tags, so that's not like big refactoring like tasks, and I think that's very easy to pick up, and even for like beginners. I think yeah. So I would like to resolve them and resolve them all before the release. I think the last time Andrew told me the release. Really, I don't have time to attend the community meeting yesterday. So what's the exact release date or code freeze date?
Yeah, I think since Kaman is here, you can give an update regarding to the dates.
Right. If it's late
Yeah.
August, I think we have the time to resolve those issues.
I think it is not the latest August. It's like the time frame between this Monday, like next Monday,
Oh,
and
next Monday.
September 2nd, right? Come on, you can just point me if I'm wrong.
I think like
so
2 weeks.
Feature-wise, I think I think these are minor things which I think, for example, enabling test. These can be added even after this Sunday too. That's what I feel.
Right. That's true. So functionally, I think it's working fine because it passed all the tests. But the things to improve is like more testings and like more monitoring stuff. Like and there's some, for example, like in the past we use JSON logging, but currently since we migrate most of the codes and they come from different repos, so the structure looks a little bit messy. So I think that's kind of a graduation criterion, but that's functionally is still fine. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let me ask, so speaking about like the release, from the training side, do we want to release all in one operator and that's it? We don't want to release TF operator and independently for the Kubeflow 1.4.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the quality
okay.
I think is good. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good, because like in the releases, as I mentioned before, like they have a different periods. So first period will be like manifest testing, and then will be like this distribution testing, and after that we make the official release, I think on 24th of September. But from our side, I think at least like on the next week we should provide the manifests for uniform training operator. So do you think we can do it? Because as I can see, like this is all of the miners issue, right? So right, yeah. Do we have any? Okay, do we have any like major issue that must be fixed before we can provide the manifest?
I think one thing I can come up is we need to test the like the car tip and training together. So if there's some issues, yeah, because if we move, if we make it in 1.4, so the integration should be work fine.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I missed the earlier comment. So we are targeting like, so regarding the manifest, are we just going to have all-in-one operator, or I missed the earlier comment?
So
so are we going to have simultaneous release for this?
For this release, I think yeah, it should be fine because we make the APIs compatible, and I think quality-wise, since the test work fine, so I think we should promote the operator in this release.
Okay, so that means we are not going to have separate release for TF operator and other operators.
Right. In yes.
Okay.
What about okay? Then, so
in that case, I think the testing effort is very much required before, like we have to enable tests for this for sure, right? Else that will be a problem.
So, is it correct that currently all-in-one operator include XGBoost, PyTorchJob, TFJob, and MXNet? So we don't have MPI, right, in all-in-one operator?
Not yet.
Okay, so I don't think we will just make it before next week, right?
Right. I think MPI is not part of the 1.4 release, and
okay. Oh, I see. So it is okay. So Kubeflow 1.3 doesn't have MPI operator in the default installation.
It does. I think the manifest that does. So in 1.4 probably the all-in-one plus MPI.
So MPI operator we will release like independently with a separate manifest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Wang, you're there, right? So have you talked with the MPI maintainers and Terry and like Shirley, and what's their plan to move to all-in-one operator?
Because there is still developing for the V2 API for MPI operators, so we plan to move the V1 API as well as a controller to all-in-one operator, and leave the V2 still in the MPI operator repository. I'm not sure the exact time schedule for to the merge between the MPI operator V1 and the all-in-one operator. It really depends on the availability from a guy from Shirley's team.
Okay. One more question. So do you know if we like to release, if we have enough time to release V2 before Kubeflow 1.4 for MPI APIs?
From my personal perspective, if a release means a production level ready, I don't think V2 will be production level ready in 1.4.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I strongly agree with Wang that we don't want to release like the V2 version on the Kubeflow 1.4. So yeah, I think
makes sense.
And do we want to make the new release cut for the MPI, or just maybe release a new image? Do we have any features regarding to the MPI?
For the V2 MPI API, right?
No, I'm speaking about like the V1, just a normal version of the MPI. Do we want to make the new image, and who will be responsible to making the new manifests for the MPI?
I'm not sure
Operator.
if the elastic training feature has been released in the previous Kubeflow release or not. If it is already included in the 1.3, I don't think it is a new feature for V1 after
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can check the 1.3 manifest, like the image tag, and sometimes it's not perfectly matching with the tag. Sometimes we cut we build the master images and make the release. So we need to double check it.
Okay, sounds good. So from your words, like we still need to see how like this new operator will work with Kedip, right? So from within the integration perspective, and also like I think we still we need to create the customized manifest, as I can see like from this project. I think this one, right? So from my perspective, I think this is the most important one of the remaining issue, because it will be affecting the Kubeflow release.
Yes, that's true. So currently we use the manifest generated by CodeBuilder to
Yep.
apply it and run the test. So I think this is we just need to probably clean those manifests and move to a different folder for Kubeflow manifest to integrate with.
Yeah. So I think we can use this manifest folder, right, to just rebuild.
Yes.
I think we can even like perform KubeBuilder to update the existing manifest. I'm not sure, like I think it is possible with the KubeBuilder, but our actual CRD, they are generating by the KubeBuilder, right? So we're not making any changes. Speaking about like the what's happening inside like CRD YAML files.
Right,
But
probably.
we still
Mhm.
need some overlays for that, right? I think there will be some extra changes required.
What do you mean?
Like we still need some overlays for that, right? So even if you are using the same the CID definitions, will it be exactly same? I doubt. I think there might be some extra changes required.
I think speaking about like overlays, we just need to create the customized for Kubeflow, so with the roles, but it does not affect the CRDs. So eventually, yeah, I can just show you. So I think it's somewhere, yeah, somewhere here. So especially like we don't have any specific requirements here. Only like I think only Kubeflow roles, and that's it. But yes, we should, in any case, we should create this overlay for the training operators. Okay. Okay, so in that case, I don't know, since is it fine if we cut release node this Saturday? I don't know, like, do we have specific date when we're planning to, are we actually planning to create a tag for this release or create a branch, maybe 0.1? I can help with it because in Kedip we work with the same way.
Just I think so regarding the release as such. So here the manifest. So what are the blocker issues here? So right now, one thing that I can see is the customization manifest. So that is a clear blocker, right?
Yes, and I think yes, that's the only blocking issue to me, I think.
I see. And okay, and it will be great if we can enable the test as well. And so Deepak can help in some of these efforts. I think we can sync up in the training channel also later.
Sure. Yeah, if some things, some stories you need more context, feel free to let me know. So the task itself actually, so the third one, enable test for all frameworks. So that means the PyTorch, MXNet, and XGBoost. So TensorFlow's test, we do have the CI pipeline, and all tests pass. So it means we need to enable tests for rest of the frameworks. In other, for example, like we need to, I think, copy the test case from like PyTorch repo to this repo. And in the pipeline, we need to have a separate step to test it.
I see.
Yeah, but this is not actually a blocking issue for the release perspective, right?
Right. So I think at least we can do some manual testing, because some of the repos it actually doesn't have the CI like end-to-end testing enabled. Some repo like MXNet, it only have the like some code gen checks and like the unit
Yeah, like
test.
like unit tests. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good. So again, speaking about like the release, do we want to, because I think the problem is like here we have the branches from the TF operator.
Yeah.
And do we have any ideas how we will make the releases for the all-in-one operator? Because eventually, just to speak about how it should work, we should make the new branch, and on this branch we should cut the new text, right? For the minor releases. Sorry, for the patch releases.
Right. I think what I'm thinking is to create a 1.3 branch, and all
Okay.
the, like, if people still prefer to use the like the original TF operator, they should look at 1.2, and we cut that branch to accept any bug fixes, etc. So in 1.3 branch and master, we will make the document change to claim this is a operator for all the frameworks, a generic one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be fine, right? Because yes, as you mentioned, like if people want to use the old legacy TF operator, they can just jump to this branch and use the latest changes. Because here we have the latest changes for the TF operator. It is correct, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think we also can make the new release. And speaking about like how we will automate it, I think we can discuss about it later. So kindly we can make it manually and just make the new tag for this branch. Yeah. So so speaking about the customers, so any other blocking issue, John, do you want to mention here or?
No, I think from what I understood, the customization manifest and the testing effort. So in the testing effort, it will be nice if we can enable test for all-in-one, and as well as one other pending item would be testing with CATIP. I don't think there will be any issues as such, but still we have to ensure that there are no integration issues as such.
Yeah, if the job and we have the same CRDs, I mean the CRD's name, we don't really, it won't be any problems there. Yeah, so only customize manifest and how the code builder will go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to say something, Justin?
No. Yeah, let me know when you run the like test. I can help on that as well. So let's make sure they work together. Yeah.
But currently, at least like the image, I mean, the current manifest are working, right? And the examples here also can be testing. I mean, here we have only like for the TF operator examples, but overall we're able to run this new manager, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then it sounds good. So speaking about like the next item for the training, do we have anything else for the release, or we can move forward?
Yeah, I think I don't have extra things to talk about. What about Jono?
I'm good. Thanks, Justin, for this great work.
No problem.
Yeah, I think it's very, very useful.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I think I can definitely work with Jono to get this manifest thing started out.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to just assign this issue, and I think we can just take a look how we can implement it. Yep. Yeah. So speaking about like the two items the work from the training side. About the common reconcile, I think there was a question from Jonah, right? Do we actually need the low-level APIs here? Do you want to add something, Jonah?
Yeah, I think that is not, in my opinion, that is not required. I think after some point, we'll definitely go with just KubeBuilder kind of APIs, right? I really don't see any extra advantage in having low-level APIs.
So, Wang, do you want to add something? So, what was like the use case why we do want to have like these APIs from the reconcile perspective?
I think the current usage of common repository is still in the controller mode, which we refer to as low-level APIs, right? And for the new controllers, like we have some not customers but community users who want to introduce the DGL operator or operator for reinforcement learning. They try to modify slightly to make a new operator. In that case, reconciler mode, which we refer as a high-level APIs, will make it much easier to let the developers to create a new operator to meet the customized requirements. So from my side, I think in the long term we will switch to the high level API, which is reconciler mode, but we don't have to get rid of the controller mode right now, and we can keep it both of them for a certain of time. I'm just not sure how long we should keep it, because when
yeah, we can't hear you if you're speaking. Can you hear me? Wang, are you here?
I think we lost him.
Yeah, okay, but I think, yeah, this might be the use case, but some operators maybe use this API, but the question is like, is it the common practice to not use controller runtime reconciler and just reuse these APIs?
So I think I have some signal issues. So
yeah, you can go ahead. Can you speak right now? Is it fine?
I'm not sure if everyone here all my said, because
I think only last sentence we lost.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a case for it, and I'm not sure if how Joshing looks into the controller mode versus reconciler mode, or how long we should keep both of them.
Yeah, from my personal perspective, I like to understand. Because I think from the code perspective, the reconciler reuse some of the codes from the controllers, right? So I like to know what's like user side, like user facing changes, and what's the benefit, and yeah. So existing side, because this repo we didn't cut a branch for like minor versions. We have to take this into the considerations. For example, if we merge this change, we cut a release, then the next when user upgrade their common repo, they have to deal with the interface changes. So that's my only concern. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So for the users, I suppose you are referring to the Kubeflow operator developers instead of the end users, right?
Yeah, not end users like like us. Yeah.
Okay, so if we merge this PR and kata release, the user interface will not be changed because the controller mode is still kept, and the implementation will be slightly. The implementation still the same, but the code will look slightly different because there's some extraction from shared scripts, shared codes into the core package. So I think there won't be any changes to the user interface, except there will be new APIs available to users, providing the same functionality, but in reconciler mode.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So what's the time we think we should like promote to reconciler V1 and
Yeah,
get
I
rid
think
of the low level?
I have the
Yeah.
same concern here. Like, what deadline are we looking at? Because if we are looking at like this weekend to be the final, the code freeze and the next steps, right? I think, will it be too difficult to get this in this release?
Personally, I don't think it should be included in this release, because once we include this, we have to further test it if the.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's not point to just if we just reuse the API, we can use the old one, right? So we can make like this independent implementation maybe after 1.4 of Kubeflow.
Okay, makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking the right time to introduce the new interface is probably like V2 Alpha 1, because I know there's some progress on the extract those dynamic training support. So maybe we can use that opportunity when we change the APIs to introduce these new APIs as well. So that will be a new, we should bump the version.
I agree.
Yeah, sure. And again, we probably need to think about like the use case. Do we have many users who just use this in production? I mean, speaking about like the common library, not our like Kubeflow implementation, but maybe any other like internal operators. Do you know someone who just using this?
From the like the developer distribution, we do see some of the users who are not sure in the Kubeflow community. Yeah. So
No, but I mean, yeah, speaking about the overall, if it's like just a handy library, because if we just keep everything under, if it's just only for the Kubeflow operators, it's no point to have independent repo, to be honest. Like, it's always like hard to make the releases in the two separate repo. But yeah, I think we can discuss about it as well after we make the new release. Okay, sounds good. So, and the last thing about like the dependencies thing. Yeah, so I think this is more questions about to Wang. I don't know if he's here right now. Wang, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so the question is here, I think you want to keep the same version from the common operator side and the Kubeflow/common, right? So in the next releases, we can make it, we can just remove the legacy replaces, right? Because we don't really need them here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so because, yeah, for example, like we don't using like 0.19 version of Kubernetes libraries.
Oh, I see. So, naive question: do we keep the version consistent between the common library and which repository?
Yeah, exactly. Like for example, if we use like I don't know which kind of the packages we're using here. Let me not here. So currently we're using 0.19 branch, right? Oh, 0.19, okay, version. So the question is why we using like the different version of IP machinery, for example, our Kubernetes API in the common library. Maybe we should keep them consistent.
Okay, so the point is operators should be consistent with common library instead of the other way, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe
Okay.
easier to just keep them consistent between two repositories.
Sure,
For
that
that
makes sense.
Yeah, for that case, we don't need these replaces, right? So we can use just 0.19 here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good. Do we have anything else to discuss? Maybe any questions? Yeah, I don't know if we actually have a date when we want to change the TF operator to training operator. So this is another thing when we should think about like the renaming the repository. Maybe after the release. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think need some brainstorm on the naming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can wait a bit. I think let's get the initial RC thing. I think that's more important.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Oh, by the way, so for the for the release branch and tag, do you think what's the best time you think we can cut the branch and cut the alpha release first, and then probably RC and beta?
So I think once we fix this issue, not this one. So this blocking issue from the customized perspective, we can maybe make a cut. I don't know if you want to. Do we want to fix testing before cutting the branch?
Yeah, I think we are going to cut it from the all-in-one report, all-in-one branch directly, right?
No, from TF operator, from the master.
From actually from master. So because we cut the 1.2 branch, and that's the branch for original one. Yeah.
Got it. So in that case, I think let's have that customization done, manifest done, and then let's test it internally first. And if it looks okay, I think we can cut a alpha release immediately.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I think I can also like easily test it with Kedip to see if integration works perfectly, and we can just cut the new branch. Yep. Yeah, because I don't think we have right now the releasing mechanism. But what about the image? The image releasing. Do we have a process to release images to the ECR?
Yeah, so that's so currently the post there's some issues in the post submit jobs, and I need to put some time to figure it out. And so currently so this one this one, the build actually success that the fix that part. So I'm thinking yeah, so if everything works fine, we can use the post submit image, but that image use the commit. It doesn't use the like the tag, so we don't have the we didn't write the I think release image drop for some release tag or the branch name. So that's a problem, and I think this time, if we don't have enough time, we can manually retag from the hash to the tag. Yeah.
So is it getting pushed to ECR right now?
Yes, right. So currently the testing, so the pre-submit CI jobs, it create the private ECR images. It's not visible to users, and after the jobs, after PRs merged, and it triggered the post-submit jobs and build the public ECR images.
Okay.
You see the registry field, the params registry. Yeah.
And we're using the same workflow for the post-submit and pre-submit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That actually needs some changes because we don't need the post submit. I don't think we need the
Yeah.
testing. It's fine. Yeah.
We have the same problem for Knip, and we discussed previously that probably we can just reuse the GitHub actions for the releasing and manually update the settings of the repo, because it will be much easier not using Kubernetes AWS cluster to make the release.
Yeah.
But I think we can maybe make it manually on this release and discuss it in the next one, because this is a very important issue for for a lot of components.
Right.
How to make releases.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in any case, do we have an access to make the tag in this ECR registry manually? For example, 1.3. Oh, sorry, 1.3.
Right. I think so. Those permissions is managed by like GitHub's flow. So yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah.
So we can make the manual submission with the tag, for example, 1.3.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Anything else that you want to discuss? Any questions? Okay, sounds good. So yeah, thanks so much for this work again, Justin. It was very helpful for the community. And yeah, I hope we can fix all this issue before maybe middle of next week. Yeah, and if you don't have anything else to ask, I think we're ready to go. So thank you, thank you, Sauron, for joining this time. So speak to you soon. Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.